Bisping and Smith break down Islam Makhachev vs Charles Olivera 2. Khabib grapples with Islam in training, and Dana White reveals the backup fighter for UFC 294. All in today's video. Bisping and Smith give a pre-fight breakdown for the Islam Makhachev vs Charles Olivera rematch, which takes place at UFC 294 for the lightweight title, and explain what Oliveira's got to do to stand any chance of beating Islam this time round.
Anyone who collects pay-per-view points wants to fight Colby Covington. I think that goes without saying. I also think that Colby's probably the easier fight for Islam. It's a wrestler versus a wrestler. Colby's not known for being a power striker. I think Leon has shown the ability to shut anybody off. He can knock people out. He's fast. He's got decent takedown defense. He's powerful. It's just a tougher fight. Huge. And he's big. He's really big. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. As far as this fight with Charles, that's a task in itself you have to get through. So I'm interested in that fight really because I want to see the adjustments that Charles made. He can't fight his normal fight style and beat Islam. He has to change his game. Islam can just do what he already does, spend his training camp focusing on getting better where he's already good, close up any holes. But for the most part, Islam can just do what he already does. Charles is the one that has to make the adjustments. So I'm really interested in that matchup.
From my perspective, and you're absolutely right, fully agree. The adjustments have to be on the side of Charles. But that's the great thing about Charles, and that's what makes him so exciting, because it's almost like he fights without a game plan. And Moicano was saying that recently when he came on the show. He just believes in himself and his ability and his toughness and his skills, and he just goes at them. And he's brilliant and he's beautiful, but also sometimes he gets caught. I mean, now granted at 145, he lost quite a few times, but that was the wrong weight class. Went on that epic, I think, 11-fight win streak, mainly all stoppages as well. But going at Islam the way that he did, you can't do that. I mean, he did do it in the next fight against Beneil Dariush, just straight away, walked him down. If he does that against Islam this time, then I think we've got a good chance of seeing the exact same thing. I think early he's got to try and maintain the distance, keep the range, use straight shots. If he gets taken down, attack leg locks, because that'll create a scramble so he can get back to his feet. But the ultimate thing is he's got to control his emotions and stick to a fundamental game plan.
Charles' game isn't built to win decisions. The way that he fights, it's not cohesive for a 5-round title fight. Like you can't keep that pace that he fights at for 25 minutes. So I'd want him to focus on winning rounds. Like, I think it's a mentality thing. It's not necessarily a skill set thing. If he could focus on winning rounds and less about trying to get a finish as fast as he can and being super aggressive and overwhelming people, just work on winning the position that you're in. So keep your distance. If you're going to wrestle or want to grapple at all, if I was him, I would do it from the clinch, because I think that's where his advantage is. He's so good at climbing around, sneaking around to people's backs from the clinch. He's got really good knees there. It's easier to defend a takedown, especially with him being tall. I think he'll have a better chance of defending takedowns from the clinch, using his underhooks and getting to body locks, and he's not going to take Islam down. That's just highly unlikely. No way. But I do think he can get to some clinch stuff. He can get to some body lock stuff and drag him down. He could trip him up. He could get to his, what I mean? I think he can be successful in some of those positions.
He could use the best takedown in the game, though.
He could knock him down.
Left hook.
There we go.
Sit down, brother.
That's the best
brother.
That's the best takedown there is.
I will take you down. I put you down, okay?
Now Islam might be the champion, but that doesn't stop his head coach Khabib from jumping back into training and twisting him up on the mats. And Dana White reveals that Gamrot is to serve as the backup for the Islam-Charles rematch.
Mateusz Gamrot, he announced that he's the backup for Islam and Charles in Abu Dhabi. Can you confirm that he will be the backup fighter?
He announced that? How did he announce it?
It's an interview in Poland, I believe, that was translated, that he said in an interview that he was going to be the backup for that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Okay.
And after his impressive win over Grant Dawson, Bobby Green calls out Dan Hooker to fight him at UFC 295, providing his hand is okay, and then tells Renato Moicano to go fuck himself.
My coach has been putting names in my ear. They said Hooker. They want me to fight Hooker. I'm like, okay, if this Hooker's down, I'm down. I'm down to even headline the prelims. I know that the cards got so stacked up. I just got to go check out my hand a little bit. Start sounding a little hammer fist. Ever since Tony, when I was smashing Tony's head, I kind of messed it up a little bit that one, and then I'll kind of I'll get through it. I'll just get through it. I'll just tough it out. I just keep toughing this stuff out. But I'm like, no, I felt it some more when I started hammer fisting him. I'm like, oh, geez, maybe I fucked something up. So get an x-ray, and then I'll know from there. But if I'm good, I want to fight in December. I want to be able to be the most active fighter this year. Tell that guy, suck it. He wanted to fight. It's like he wants the big money, and he's like, hey, I want to fight. But then, like, when I saw him, I'm like, what's up? But then it's like, oh, well, not that time. Well, you did. Like, it's just a bunch of. You gotta figure that shit out. Go figure that out, bro. You know, be honest, I just put whoever they put in front of me. If they put Hanato, he'll get his ass slept too.
And in the welterweight division, Belal Muhammad says Colby Covington is an easier fight than Leon Edwards. I definitely think Colby is an easier fight for sure, and it would be a funner build-up because he'll actually talk back and forth. But I would like to fight Leon just because of the unfinished business we have, and just because it will shut these people up. These trolls up that think, oh man, Leon won 4 minutes and 59 seconds of a fight, so that means he was going to win the next 21 minutes. That's not how fighting works. I think I'm going to go out there and fight Leon, and I think I'm going to get a finish. And I'll dominate him and show you guys what really would have happened. And Darren Till names his greatest fighter of all time. John Jones is the greatest MMA fighter of all time. Not athlete, fighter. Don't think anyone will surpass him, in my opinion. Just to add as well, I think he runs over Stipe, who, by the way, I am a big fan of also, and I think is the heavyweight GOAT. Anyone wants a bet with me, I'll be taking big bets on this one. And you know those arcade punch machines? Well, Conor McGregor just broke one of them.
So I'ma let my chest poke out just a little. I'm headed to the top.